Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Explicitly Unbiased. I'm Caleb. Gerardo's not here today, so I brought on a very special guest that you guys are all going to meet. We're going to go over the Thursday, Friday, Sunday slate of NFL games. We're going to go over all the coaching decisions that have happened since the weekend. The Big Fish, Lane Kiffin, obviously made his decision. A couple others throughout. And then we'll go over what happened in college football in week 14 and see what's coming in week 15. So should be a jam-packed show. Hope you guys enjoy. And let's get this ball rolling. And as you can see beside me, it is not Gerardo in. He's lost his voice. Tends to happen when you work in radio. But don't worry, we have a plethora of friends, and LCO is one of them. LCO has been on several of my shows in the past. He was on their draft stream with Gerardo over on Foxborough Beat. LCO, welcome to the program. First guest. So it comes with high regard. If you want to just take a moment to kind of introduce yourself again. We can get going, but I'll give you the floor to introduce yourself.
Hey folks, I'm LCO. Excited to be on here. I've been looking forward to it all season. Big Steelers guy, Spurs guy. As you can see, the Victor Wembanyama shirt kind of cut off there. Half a page that I did or on Still City Beat, not too active on there, but just a good friends with Caleb, passionate about sports, excited to talk some.
And shout out to Gerardo.
Shout out to G.
But yeah, okay, all the pleasantries out of the way. Despite your fandoms, you're going to try to keep it explicitly unbiased for this program, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's get started. Green Bay at Detroit was your first game on Thursday. It was, I believe, the Green Bay Packers taking the win. It was 31-24, your final. Jordan Love, 18 of 30, 234, and 4 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, 83 yards on the ground. Dontavian Wicks, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. Christian Watson, 4 for 80 and a touchdown. Romeo Doubs, 4 for 20 and a touchdown. As for the Lions, Jared Goff, 20-26, 256 and 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 68 yards. David Montgomery, 32 and a score. Jameson Williams, 7 for 144 and a touchdown. Have yourself a day. Isaac Tesla, 2 for 35 and a touchdown. Packers improved to 8-3-1. The Lions fall to 7-5 in this divisional matchups. They are P3 in the division standings, with the Bears being obviously very strong, the Packers being very strong, and the Vikings just kind of, kaput. But we'll get to them. Oscar, what are kind of your big takeaways from this game?
Yeah, I mean, just the Packers defense seemingly doing their job pretty well. You contain a player like Jahmyr Gibbs, you can't complain about that. Jameson Williams obviously had a day in the absence of Amon Ra. And Jordan Love, shout out, pretty efficient and 4 touchdowns. You can't complain about that either.
Yeah, this felt like a pretty even game. I felt like coming into this matchup, both teams were really strong, and it really panned out in the end. It was a touchdown game, and I don't know what it is about the Lions this year. They tend to lose in weird ways. Like, this isn't the strongest team that we thought that they were going to be going into this year, fully healthy. They haven't had a lot of injury problems this year. Obviously, Amon-Ra left this game pretty early. But yeah, what's the deal with the Lions? Are they missing their coordinators? Is it just kind of one of those years?
I think they are missing the coordinators. Shockingly, I think they're missing Aaron Glenn more. Just because I think, their offense, they can still get pretty creative. But yeah, I think they're missing both of them pretty badly.
Ben Johnson, obviously, kind of running the division right now with an 8-3 record. Maybe a 9-3 record, I don't know. And the Packers, obviously, right there. This is the first time since, I believe, 2019 that the Green Bay Packers have swept the Lions. Remember they beat them in Week 1, and now they beat them on Thanksgiving.
And the week 1 game was not as close.
We all thought that was a fluke, and then
Yeah.
they go and do it again on Thanksgiving. So, yeah, what are kind of your long-term projections for the Packers? Are they legit?
I mean, I think so. Like, I don't know if they're Super Bowl contenders, but they can make a run. Their defense, they got a big upgrade with Micah Parsons, obviously. Jordan Love seems to be solid. Josh Jacobs has been good for him. Lots of yardage, decent amount of touchdowns. I think they can make a little run.
Yeah, so that'll do it for the first Thanksgiving game. Let's keep it on going here. It's Kansas City and Dallas. I don't know how many people would have said they would have picked Dallas with the Chiefs with their backs against the wall, but they end up getting this win 31-28 LCO. Patrick Mahomes 23 of 34, 261, 4 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt 58 yards on the ground. Rashee Rice 8 for 92 and 2 touchdowns. Travis Kelce 5 for 45 and a touchdown. Hollywood Brown 2 for 20 and a touchdown. Dak Prescott 27 39, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Javonte Williams 59 yards, and then a receiving touchdown. Malik Davis 3 carries for 47 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, the Cowboys defense. I mean, they gave up 28 points and 4 touchdowns to Patrick Mahomes, but the yards were low. Like they didn't just bend over like they did like earlier in the season. But this Cowboys offense is just it's lights out. It's absolutely lights out. What were kind of your reactions from this game?
Yeah, so my thoughts, I thought the Chiefs would win because I thought the Chiefs defense would do better at stopping that high octane Dallas offense than Dallas's defense would do stopping the Chiefs. But Dak had a day. CD Lamb and George Pickens both had a day, and
Oh, I didn't even read the Cowboys receiving yards. Yeah, CD Lamb 7 for 112 and a touchdown. Pickens had 6 for 88.
I feel like the Chiefs not having a playable running back really came back to hurt them. I mean, he had Hunt, he averaged 4.1, but that's just on medium volume. But yeah, I was a bit surprised, pleasantly so.
Yeah, you're definitely a victim of Chiefs fatigue. But do you start to second guess the Chiefs not being buyers at the deadline as far as offensive weaponry?
If I would. I mean, Rasheed had a game. Worthy was okay. I mean, beyond Rasheed, you didn't have anyone that was a 75 plus yard receiver, even though, Mahomes did his thing, got the 4 touchdowns. The running backs are pathetic.
So we spoke on this program back around the trade deadline that the Chiefs should have sent a 3rd or a 4th round pick for Brees Hall.
Yeah, easily.
And people will say, "Oh, well, think about the long-term investment. You have to sign the guy to a contract." Da, da, da. For a Super Bowl, who cares?
Yeah, it's Brees
When you have a
Hall.
quarterback like Patrick Mahomes and a coach like Andy Reid, like you're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, you'll make it work.
So it was just super unfortunate that they didn't do that as far as their Super Bowl window. And now they're kind of on the outside looking in. They're what 6-6 now? 6-6. 1-5 on the road. Just absolutely pathetic.
Can't win their division, fighting for a wild card spot.
Are they officially out of the running for the division?
I actually should check that
I mean,
before
they're
I
six
make
and
that
six. I mean, the
prediction.
Denver's only 10 and 2 now.
Denver's 10
So
and
we
2
still got,
now.
I think, probably 1 or 2 more weeks before that's locked up, or at least locked up for them.
Yeah. They're still in it, but it's looking rough.
And it's a stacked wild card.
Yeah.
Like the the Ravens obviously are taking the lead in the division. The Steelers are still right there. The Bills are a wild card team, and if
Yeah.
they end up winning the division, the Patriots are going to be a wild card team. The Jaguars are going to be a wild card team. The Chargers, and then there's a plethora of teams looking on the outside, and then there's Kansas City at 6-6. Just this wasn't the year to suck.
Yeah, it's surprising. I've been a little bit surprised at how flat the Chiefs have been as a whole.
And we can talk about top 10 in offense, top 10 in yards, top 10 in points, but they're not winning these games.
No.
And it's often because they're getting outscored, and their offense is just late to the party.
Yeah, I mean, when you watch their offense, do they feel like a top 10 offense in any regard?
Not really.
No.
And yeah, we're starting to see the Chiefs kind of looking down the barrel of kind of a retool kind of
Yeah.
off season, try to get everything back together, get an explosive running back, maybe get another explosive receiver. Got to think it for life after Travis Kelce. Like all these things are coming to a head.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But 6-6, not the place you want to be in this AFC.
No.
All right. Speaking of the AFC, let's go to the Thursday night game. You had the Ravens and the Bengals. I'm sure a game that you were eyeing very closely, LCL. Joe Burrow's first game back. The Bengals win 32-14. Burrow 24, 46, 261, and 2 touchdowns. Chase Brown 78 yards. Jamar Chase 7 for 110. Andre Iosefa 1 catch for 29 yards and a touchdown. Tanner Hudson 1 for 14. 1 obviously no T Higgins, no Trey Hendrickson, no problem. They hold the Ravens to 14 points. Lamar Jackson 17 of 32. Excuse me, 246 yards and a pick. Derrick Henry 10 for 60 and a touchdown. Keaton Mitchell also getting in as well with 2 carries for 19 yards and a touchdown. Isaiah Likely, the Ravens' leading receiver, 5 for 95. When you don't have Zay Flowers into your passing game, I don't know if the Ravens really have a shot.
No.
Especially with Mark Andrews being a little washed up. Isaiah Likely hasn't quite taken the strides you hoped. DeAndre Hopkins has started to get into his Buccaneers Julio Jones era. But yeah, the Ravens fall to 6-6. And the Bengals up at 4-8. So where do you want to start with this? You want to start with the Bengals and how useless they were without Joe Burrow? Or do you want to start with the Ravens keeping this AFC North competitive?
I do want to start with the Ravens because what also doesn't show in the stats, I'm pretty sure Lamar lost 2 fumbles.
Did
Fumbled
he now?
twice, lost both. If you look at
Yes, he
Lamar
lost 2 fumbles.
Jackson's past 5 games, he's been pedestrian. Less than 250 yards passing in the past 5. 1 or less touchdowns in 4 of the past 5. The Ravens defense I thought was kind of bouncing back, but they gave up 32, but I'll give them a bit of a pass due to the amount of turnovers forced by Cincinnati's defense of all things. But yeah, Burrow being back immediately revitalized the team.
It's not like Flacco was playing bad when Burrow was gone.
No, it's not. Flacco was serviceable, but I think this Bengals team needs more than serviceable from the quarterback to win a football game.
And all of a sudden, their defense is playing lights out. Like,
Yeah.
you watched the New England game last week. This Bengals defense was playing feisty.
Yeah, I mean,
they figured something out.
The Bengals defense has not been as let's call them generous lately as they usually are.
Right, and just imagine where the Bengals would be if they had just like maintained 500 while Burrow was gone. Like if they were 500 right now, would they be a shoe in for the division? I think so.
Probably with how it's gone across the division.
But the Bengals are 4-8. I kind of find it hard for them to make a run. Like, are the Ravens and Steelers really just going to lose out from here? Like, it's hard to think. The Browns are obviously useless. We're not even going to bother with them. But imagine where the Bengals would be if they just were 1 or 2 games better.
Yeah, I mean, they'd be in it, but the Ravens and Steelers have each other, so both can't lose out, which is unfortunate for the Bengals. But, I mean, could they still be in it? mathematically someone smarter than me may know, but it looks difficult.
I think they have to win the division. Like they have to hope that the Ravens and the Steelers both lose 2 or 3 more games,
Yeah,
and then hope that they get in on tiebreakers and whatever, what have you. But yeah, I mean, it's absolutely insane what Joe Burrow does for that team.
yeah,
Like, never mind, because the offense was pretty pedestrian, I would say. Joe
pretty
Burrow's only
much.
thrown 2 touchdowns, barely over 200 yards. QBR and passer rating weren't that great. Um, and the running game, I mean, Chase Brown, 78 yards on 15 carries. Do what you will with that.
Though
But
in fairness, it's a bit hard to get the yardage when your defense is probably giving you short fields to work with most of the time.
maybe that's true. Yeah, maybe that's something to consider. But yeah, it's not like they were lighting up the field. Um, and they get it done. And they improved to 4-8. The Ravens fall to 6-6. It's going to be an interesting race to the for the AFC North, to say the least. I don't know if I'd say entertaining because none of
No,
these teams are playing very good football. But
the conference as a whole has been a little bit weaker than expected. Like I'm including every
competitive but
team.
weak.
Yeah, I'll give the Bengals a pass in that because they lost Burrow in what week 2, just now got him back. But the Ravens, Steelers both been weaker than I thought, and the Browns have been the Browns.
Utterly useless. Um, Now we go to the Bears and the Eagles. Another game where I'm like, if you asked most people on face value, who do you think is winning this game, the Eagles or the Bears? Most people would sleep on the Bears, I think.
Yeah,
But the Bears have proved they're not the team to sleep on. They
no,
win 24-15 on Black Friday. Caleb Williams 17-36, 154, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. But what carried them here was the running game, LCO.
yeah,
Kyle Monaghan, 22 carries, 130 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift, 18 carries, 125 yards and a touchdown. The leading receiver was Cole Kmet, 3 for 36, or 3 for 36 and 1. Not 336 yards. That'd be stupid. Yeah, 24-15. The Eagles, 19-34 for Jalen Hurts, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Saquon Barkley for 56 yards. AJ Brown had a crazy day, 10 catches, 132 yards, and 2 scores. But Hurts fumbled once and lost it. Um, this game, it was. I just feel like the Bears smothered them in the fourth quarter.
yeah. I mean, the Bears just outplayed them. I mean, on name value, most people would pick the Eagles, but if you look at them, they've been kind of flat this year. Saquon's not been nearly as electric this year.
Their run game has been inefficient.
Yeah, and I mean, AJ Brown had a day in this game, but as a whole, the passing game was not very good either. It was mostly relying on Jalen Hurts to scramble, touch pushes. But the Bears, I mean, they just outplayed them. I don't think the Eagles' offense had a terrible day besides Saquon being held under 60 yards. Yeah, I mean, they say if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. That's not true with running backs, it would seem. The Bears running backs combining for well over 200,
Almost
two
300.
touchdowns. Yeah,
Yeah, the
and
Bears are 9-3. Number
that
one seed in the
might
NFC.
be,
Who would have
yeah,
thought?
no, not me.
Especially after losing the week 1 to 9. Um, the Bears have just been they've been winners. Like sometimes you look at them, and you're like, no, they're not winning this game. No, they don't know what they're doing. They're the bad news Bears. They're gonna find a way to lose these games. They're 9-3. They're probably gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, their chances have to be up in the 90 percentages. I mean, there's a solid chance they win the division.
I mean, the Packers are hot on their trail, and the Lions are only 2 games back. But God, like it's this Bears team's weird. Like I don't know what to make of them.
No, because like you look at the team, sometimes look at the stats, and you're kind of puzzled. Like, how is this team
Like
winning
Caleb
against
Williams
such?
isn't playing overly well.
Yeah,
He doesn't make the most of his weapons really, but they find a way to win,
yeah.
and that's all that matters.
Win's a win, as they say.
Okay, I don't think we left anything on the table there, so let's get into Sunday. San Francisco and Cleveland. This was obviously just a throttling. Niners win 26-8. Brock Purdy 16-29, 168 and a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey 20 for 53 and a touchdown, 2.7 average. Not great.
No.
Brock Purdy 2 for 4 and a touchdown as well on the ground. Looks like Mac Jones came in for a little bit. Jawan Jennings 4 for 39 and a touchdown. George Kittle 4 for 67. Peter Sanders 16-25, 141 or 149 and a score. Judkins 23 carries, 91 yards. Harold Fannin 3 for 43 and a touchdown. This game just felt like a boring slog.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, looking at these stats, San Francisco's offense was not good, I would say. I mean, 168 passing yards. You got, I'm going to be generous and round it up to 90 rushing yards total. That's about 250 total yards of offense. And it doesn't look like they forced a bunch of turnovers either.
They just gritty,
Yeah.
grind it, and they get 26 points. But imagine if the Browns had an iota of offense with this defense.
Yeah, I mean, Shador looked magical last week. He had plenty of yards, scores. He looked great. I mean, Judkins had a pretty good game, averaging 4 a carry, but couldn't get in the end zone. Yeah, I mean, the Browns' defense is one of the most stout units in the league, but their offense can't stop making them defend short fields or not putting up enough points to really make use of it.
You just gotta be frustrated if you're a Cleveland Browns defensive player. You gotta be frustrated if you're a Cleveland Browns fan. Although they've definitely seen worse. Just not a great team to watch, not a great team to follow. But the Niners are up at 9-4, and
Yeah,
this division is still open. I mean, the Rams lost to the Panthers, that we'll get to in a second. The Seahawks kind of be up and down. Like Darnold has a great day, then he has a couple of bad games, and they
yeah,
squeak out. They don't look particularly super strong. And then the Cardinals, I mean, they're the riskiest loser in the league. But yeah, the Niners, I mean, they could be right in the run for the NFC title game again.
yeah, and that's unbelievable considering what they've gone through. They had to start Mac Jones, who actually came in and was serviceable for
However
5,
many
maybe
games that
6
was, yeah.
weeks. But yeah, the 49ers, like, quietly have been winners.
9-4, man. I feel better about them than I feel about the Bears.
Yeah,
Just as a unit.
yeah, it
But
feels more sustainable.
they still don't really have receivers. George
No.
Kittle's long in the tooth. DMC's long in the tooth. But yeah, this is going to be a weird playoff, man. Like, I don't know how this is all going to shape up.
No.
It's definitely not going to be how anybody thought it was going to be in the preseason.
No.
But one thing we can count on is the Titans absolutely sucking. They played the Jags, and this game was not close.
No.
25-3, the Jags win. Trevor Lawrence 16-27, 229, 2 touchdowns. They could not run the ball whatsoever, but your boy Byshell Tootin with a touchdown. Myers 6 for 90 and a touchdown. Brenton Strange 3 for 45 and a touchdown. As far as the Titans, Cam Ward 24-38, 141, no touchdowns, no picks. Tony Pollard 10 for 60. No touchdowns for the Titans at all. 25-3, your final. Titans obviously suck. The Jaguars continue their kind of wild card pace. Do you have anything to really say to either of these teams? Like, how you feel
I
about the
mean,
Jaguars? Like, can you give them a little something?
this is kind of like a quote unquote like version of what we talked about with the Browns and 49ers. Had some more passing yards, but the Jags offense didn't put up that much yardage. Had, you know, some touchdowns, obviously. It's just the Titans can't play offense, can barely play defense. But Jacoby Myers had a day. He's built that rapport with Trevor. I feel like something to watch.
For sure. They're not out of this AFC race with the Colts losing today that we're going to get to in a second. Um, and the Texans, I mean, they're frisky. They can beat anybody. Um, but the Jaguars, they were one of those top wildcard teams we were talking about.
Yeah,
Um, they could very well win this division, host a playoff game.
they
Uh,
could.
I don't know how good you feel about them making a long run when we don't know Brian Thomas Jr.'s status. We don't know if they can actually run the football because ETN finally kind of came back to true form and had a rough game.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, this team's about as good as anybody in the AFC.
Yeah, and this year's AFC for sure.
All right, let's get to the other AFC South game, shall we?
Yes.
The Houston Texans. They traveled to Indianapolis and they beat the Colts. It was a 20-16 affair. CJ Stroud 22-35, 276, no touchdowns and a pick. Woody Marks 19 carries, 64 yards. Nick Chubb 9 for 34 and a touchdown. Daniel Jones 14-27, 201, 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor 85 yards on 21 carries. Alec Pierce 4 for 78 and a touchdown. Tyler Warren 3 for 22 and a touchdown. No defensive touchdowns for either side. But Texans improved to 7-5. Colts fall to 8-4. The big story out of this game, LCO, from Indianapolis was the officiating being absolutely atrocious. A couple of really bad missed calls. Kenny Fairbairn blatantly missed a PAT and they called it good. I shit you not, folks. Go back, go on Twitter, look at it. It happened. There was a defensive pass interference call that had the cornerback didn't even touch him, and they called it in a setup a touchdown. Yeah, just a crapshoot from the refs. But I'm also not the guy who bitches about refs. You've known me for a long time, LCO. I've never complained about. I think good teams overcome bad officiating. Like, we know the referees suck. This isn't new, but yeah, like it. I don't want to say this crossed the line because the Colts still should have won this game. They're infinitely more talented on offense than the Texans. They've been better than them all year long. There's no excuse to only put up 16 points. But yeah, the Texans get away with one and they get a win.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games you look at it and it's hard to say that the better team won. I guess they were better today because they won, but if the Colts didn't have enough of a gap between what they were doing and what the Texans were doing to overcome the officiating, shout out to Nico Collins, by the way, for the Russian touchdown.
Yep. That was
I
cool.
mean, Daniel Jones was pretty efficient. JT averaged about 4 a carry. It's just
this
different.
Texas defense is amazing. Like, let's
The
first and
Texans'
foremost give
defense
them credit.
is very good.
The pass rush is insane. Stingley is awesome.
Yeah.
But the Colts offense has slowed down. Like, we can complain about penalties all we want. This Colts offense hasn't been good in a couple of weeks.
No.
Going back to, let's see, the last time they put up more than 30 points was against the Falcons, and that went to overtime.
Yeah.
Since then, it was the Titans who suck. Like this Colts offense is nowhere to be found the last couple of weeks, and I think that's super concerning for a team that was just a couple of weeks ago vying for number one team in the AFC.
Yeah.
Now I think there's a pretty good gap between them, the Patriots, and the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that thought they were going to be number one. They invested heavily to trade for Sauce Gardner.
Who
And their
is going to have a
offense is
calf
just,
strain. He's going to miss probably a couple weeks.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely a cause of concern all around for the Colts because traded, 2 firsts for this guy. He's going to be out a couple of weeks. So defense will take a dip. The offense has been taking a dip.
And the Colts are like have one win and like 4 losses when Jonathan Taylor doesn't score a touchdown, something like that.
Yeah, and
The
he didn't
last
score.
however many games. I heard the stat. JJ Watt or Ian Eagle said it. But yeah, it's the Colts are one dimensional. People are starting to figure that out a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm kind of taking the Colts off my board for a Super Bowl run. I don't see it.
Quietly, the division's not even guaranteed for him anymore, like it felt like it should have been a few weeks
The
ago.
Jags are within a game. The Texans are within a game and a half. The Titans suck, but yeah, this division's not over, and the Colts should be very concerned. I'd be hitting the panic button.
Yeah, I'd be worried.
All right. Moving on, let's talk about two teams who aren't even going to make the playoffs: the Saints and the Dolphins.
That's what I call a sock ball right there.
It was a 21-17 final. The Dolphins win at home. They improved to 5-7. The Saints dropped to 2-10. Tyler Shuck, 26-38, 239, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Tua Tagovailoa, 12 of 23, 157 and a pick. Devon A-Chain, have yourself a day, 22 carries, 134 yards and a touchdown. Dolphins lead receiver was Darren Waller, 2 for 47. Nothing really to note on the Saints offense besides Devon Vele, 8 receptions, 93 yards and a touchdown. Olave had a touchdown as well. Shuck also lost a fumble. But yeah, Dolphins kind of smother a bad team. Dolphins kind of just beat bad teams, especially at home. They're 4-3. But yeah, do you have much to say? Do you have anything?
Tua was shockingly bad. Less than 200 yards a pick. 55 QB rating. Shout out to A-Chain. They maybe should have used him more. But you have to get worried about injury with him carrying the team. Yeah, I mean, it's just a bad team and a worse team playing the bad team, knowing how to beat the worst team. Shout out to Shock, though, for the 2 touchdowns, I guess.
Imagine both these teams are going to be looking at new quarterbacks next year.
I would hope so.
I don't think new coaches. I think Kellen Moore is going to get an extended look. Mike McDaniel, I think everybody's kind of feeling like he's going to be gone after the year.
Yeah, especially if they move off of Tua.
Just sorry, fans. You just got to grind this one out. This isn't your year. Keep watching the games. Keep watching tape. See what you need. Make your takes. Comment on the video what you think that the team should do in the offseason. But yeah, just I hate that anybody had to watch that game. I hate that anybody's in that fan base. Like, just
yeah,
the vibes aren't good.
condolences.
Yeah. Another set of teams where their fan base isn't great. The Falcons and the Jets played. This game went to overtime. It was a surprisingly entertaining game.
Yeah.
27-24. Or it didn't go to overtime. The Jets won off last second field goal. Kirk Cousins, 21-33, 234, and a touchdown. Bijan Robinson, 22 carries, 142 yards, and a score. Tyler Algier, once again, vultures a goal line touchdown. Kyle Pitts, 7 for 82. Tyrod Taylor, 19-33, and a touchdown. Also had a rushing touchdown on 44 yards on 8 carries. Brees Hall, 68 yards and a touchdown. Adonai Mitchell, 8 for 102 and 1. Have yourself a day. But yeah, Jets improved to 3-9. Falcons fall to 4-8. So obviously the Justin Fields era in New York is over. Michael Penix is hurt, so we're getting an extended look at Kirk Cousins without Drake London. The Falcons are 4-8. Can't imagine they're going to make a run for the playoffs or anything like that.
No.
But again, get anything for these teams? Adonai Mitchell, I mean, could be a potential wide receiver of the future there.
I mean, he looked really good today. Of course, he had 4 drops, but when you double that in catches, you can't complain too much on that. Tyrod Taylor is shockingly like a lot better than Justin Fields, like very meaningfully better at the sport of football than Justin Fields.
You don't know how happy it makes me to hear you say that.
If you get me too much into the Falcons offense, I'll drop some explicitly biased takes because Tyler Algier is a damn drive killer. I saw multiple drives. They give him a carry, he gets 2 yards, and the drive's just thrown off. I don't
But he gets
know.
the 2 yards that matter at the goal line.
Yeah. Shout out to David Sills for getting a touchdown. No idea who you are, but you were the one guy Kirk decided to bless. Yeah, but fun game. Honestly, went to OT. Tyrod Taylor was very excited about the game-winning kick. Fun stuff to see from a Virginia Tech legend.
Arizona at Tampa Bay. Arizona, the most fun bad team in the league, I think. They lose to Tampa by 3 points, 20-17, your final. Jacoby Brissett, 29-40, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Bam Knight, 6-2 yards. Trey McBride, 8 for 82 and a touchdown. Bam Knight, 3 for 36 and a touchdown. Baker Mayfield, 18-28, 194 and a touchdown. Bucky Irving in his first game back, 17 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown. Chris Godwin, 3 for 78, and Mecca Ibuka, 4 for 42. Yeah, the Buccaneers squeak one out.
Yeah. Another case where I'm gonna say like Jacoby Brissett is shockingly like meaningfully better at the sport of football than Kyler Murray. Like not even close.
Certainly this year, I think Kyler Murray is definitely more talented. Everybody knows that.
Yeah,
Most teams would take Kyler Murray over Jacoby Brissett, and if they had a choice. But this offense is kind of like we saw earlier this year with there was another backup that was playing. God damn it!
You had Mac Jones and Brock Purdy.
Mac Jones and Brock Purdy, yes. That's kind of what I was thinking. Mac Jones was running the offense, and it looked a lot better than it did with Purdy before Purdy started to get his groove on the last couple of weeks. Yeah. But, yeah, like, Brissett looks good.
Yeah.
He's playing himself to another contract.
Going to give Bucky Irving a pass for being fairly inefficient, just 3.6 a pop because it's his first game back. Big day for Godwin, obviously. The Bucks, I mean, they've just been facing all kinds of injuries. It was nice to see Baker back out there. Managed to squeak it out. Hopefully they can get healthy as time goes and we can see them be the fun team we know they can.
No Mike Evans, too.
No Mike Evans. Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough for the Bucks, but this division should be a cakewalk. The Saints aren't competitive. The Falcons aren't competitive. Somehow, some way, the Panthers are competitive.
Yeah.
So let's get into that. The Panthers beat who I thought and kind of still think is the best team in the NFL in the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
But they were not today. The Panthers win 31-28 LCO. Stafford 18-28, 243, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Blake Corum was their leading rusher, 7 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown. Kyron Williams, 13 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown. I believe he got hurt and left. Xavier Smith, if you don't know who that is, me neither. 3 catches for 82 yards, was your leading receiver. Puka Nacua, 6 for 72. Devontae Adams, 4 for 58, and 2. Talk about goal line merchants. Devontae Adams on a slant at the goal line.
Every time.
But this is where we talk about Bryce Young, 15 to 2206 and 3 touchdowns.
Efficient day.
Chuba Hubbard, 70 carries for 83 yards. Jalen Coker, 4 for 74 and a touchdown. Ted McMillan, 1 for 43 and 1. Chuba Hubbard, 2 for 41 and 1. This is the part where Gerardo would say that Bryce Young isn't actually this good. This is an outlier. But he's put together a couple of these days. So let's hear a differing opinion on Bryce Young, LCO. You think this guy's legit?
I mean, I might regret this, but yes, because some days he comes out there, he has these days, and like you see the vision, you see what Bryce Young can be. He can be a franchise guy. And for all I know, next week he'll come out and look like he's the worst quarterback to step on the field. But I'm going to put my faith in him, call him legit. I mean, he was very efficient today. It's not like he was a volley merchant. If anything, they could have afforded to throw a little bit more. Uh, he looked very good. He outdueled who was and might still be an MVP leader in Matt Stafford.
God, I don't even know who the MVP favorite would be at this point.
Drake May, probably.
He hasn't played yet. He plays on Monday night.
Yeah, true. We'll have to see how that game
Matthew
goes.
Stafford's still the favorite. It's plus 105 to plus 120.
But yeah, I mean, Bryce looked really good. Chuba Hubbard, surprisingly, bucking the trend, looked meaningfully better than Rico Dowdle out there today. Uh, Outtouched him too. I want to say no, he got outtouched a little.
Pause.
Ted McMillan, shout out to him making his one catch a big touchdown. The Panthers played a good game, but I think the Rams just got too cute with it. You had a running back averaging 11.6, and another averaging 5.5, and they combined for 20 carries. Meanwhile, you threw it 28 times. Stafford threw 2 picks, and I think he lost a fumble as well. I may be wrong on the lost fumble, but I
He
believe
did.
I remember
He
that
did.
happening.
Very good. But I still think the Rams are the best team in football. Like,
I
I
do.
still don't think it's close. I still think they're the Super Bowl favorite. The Panthers have beaten good teams this year. Like they'll punch you in the mouth when you're not really expecting it. Um, so the Panthers, they can beat anybody. They got to find this consistency.
Yeah, and it's not like the Panthers have been a poverty team this year. They're 7-6. They're positive. They're in striking range to win their division.
They've got terrible losses, but they also have great wins.
Yeah,
This was a great win.
yeah, peaks and valleys. That's the defining factor of that football team.
So
That's
how do the Panthers really find this consistency? Like, what are they missing on a week to week basis?
I mean, I called him legit, but Bryce Young is not the most efficient guy, but he's what, second, third year quarterback who was drafted into a bad situation, got
Benched
benched
twice.
last year. Uh, I don't know how their defense has been. I believe they forced 3 turnovers today. I believe they've been pretty good as a whole. I mean, the weapons, you got Tet. I don't know if he's consistent yet as a rookie.
He's another peaks and valleys guy.
Rico Dowdle was consistent, but he got outplayed by a pretty wide margin by Chuba today. They don't really have a tight end
That's true.
or a second or third running back. I
Not
mean,
somebody you want to drop $100 bid on in your free agency in fantasy football.
no, certainly not. I would never.
No, but are you willing to say today that the Panthers are going to win the division? Would you put your stocks in them, or do you think Tampa's they're just gonna try to run away with it?
Uh, I
Let me
would
look at
have
the
to.
Panthers' remaining schedule if you want.
Yeah, I do want to look at the Panthers' remaining schedule to try to make an informed opinion here.
At Saints, who they lost to at home a couple weeks ago, versus Buccaneers, versus Seahawks, at Buccaneers.
So they need to beat the Bucks twice, and obviously beating the Saints would help, and beating the Seahawks would help. I'm not a fan of the Seahawks matchup. I think
The
Saints
Bucks have
very
lost 4
winnable
of their
game.
last 6.
They have, but
So I think the
I've,
Panthers are going on bye.
I might have read that the Bucks could have Mike Evans back in the next few weeks, which would be big for them.
Yep. So the Panthers go on bye, and then they play the Saints.
So off a really good win against the Rams, some rest should go out there and punch the Saints in the mouth.
And then they have the Bucks, the Seahawks, the Bucks.
Mm,
This Buccaneers, on the other hand, no bye. They've lost
no,
4 of their last 6. But versus Saints, versus Falcons, at Panthers, at Dolphins, versus Panthers.
and
A little
they
soft.
beat the Falcons last time just barely.
Let
I
me look.
think, right? And
The
they
Falcons, yeah,
absolutely
they won
crushed the
23-20
Saints.
week 1.
So
So,
those are two winnable games.
and the Dolphins, who suck.
Dolphins, very winnable. I think if things go well for both teams, it comes down to that series of games they have to play. I don't know who wins the division if they split.
I think the Buccaneers have the upper hand, but it's certainly not unreasonable to think the Panthers are going to win this division.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shot in the dark.
You're not comfortable saying that they are going to win it?
No, because they'd have to sweep the Bucks, I think, and probably win at least one of those other two. But I think they should beat the Saints. It's
All
just
right.
it's too hard to forecast the sweep.
Let's take a look at another game that happened this afternoon. The Minnesota Vikings took on the Seattle Seahawks. No JJ McCarthy.
No.
Max Brosmer made his first start. If you're not familiar, LCO, Max Brosmer, pretty popular guy on this program.
Yeah.
I obviously went to college with him at UNH. He was my quarterback through my entire tenure there. He was awesome. Then he transfers to the Minnesota Gophers. Has a pretty good season there. Is a top end, high end UDFA talent at quarterback, and the Vikings go and pick him up. Has a pretty good preseason. He's always been kind of one play away, as Kevin O'Connell said, to make a run at it, get the starting job. Sam Darnold, he's making his revenge game against the Vikings. A lot of storylines here, and the CX win 26-0. Max Brosmer 19-30, 126, 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
Jordan Mason 6 carries, 47 yards. TJ Hawkinson 6 for 59. Jordan Jefferson has 2 catches for 4 yards. Sam Darnold not so great himself. 14-26, 128, no touchdowns, no picks. Ken Walker 13-56. Zach Charbonnet 14-52 and a touchdown. Obviously, Seattle had a defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
Or 2. Yeah, 2. Is that 2 defensive touchdowns?
I would imagine.
No, it's just one. It's just one. They just had it listed in 2 different spots. Yeah, not quite the day I wanted for my guy Max Brosmer. Not quite the day I wanted for my guy Sam Darnold. But yeah, the Vikings are the worst team in this division. Maybe not off of talent, but just off of vibes, how they're playing, off of standings. Like they're not good this year. The quarterback play has been atrocious. I know I hyped up Max Brosmer, but at the end of the day, he's a UDFA who played at the FCS level for most of his college career, and then he goes to Minnesota, who's not exactly known for lighting up the scoreboard as a passing offense. He's kind of thrown into the fire against a really tough opponent in a really tough crowd in Seattle.
Yeah.
And that happens. um, I'll take the egg on my face, but I think
I
everybody
mean,
was kind of buying the hype. Um, and then yeah, Seattle wins kind of unconvincingly 26-0. But
I mean, I was a preseason tire pumper for 9. I thought he'd be good. I went into this game thinking, oh, he's out, so it can't get any worse for Minnesota.
I think it
Rose,
stayed about the same.
yeah, probably. Rosemer was always a play away. I hope he wasn't a play away from never getting a chance again, because if he was, he had that play happen multiple times. I mean, the Vikings offense as a whole just wasn't there, couldn't run it, barely tried to run it, though.
Well, they got down quick.
Yeah. Uh, Pedestrian day for Darnold, but that Vikings defense is tough, and he didn't really need to air it out because the game was over. I think he might have lost a fumble, though.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really an efficient day for anyone on Seattle's offense. I mean, maybe credit to Ken Walker for averaging 4.3 a carry. It was just one of those games where you don't need much on the offensive end. Uh, Vikings couldn't do anything. Seahawks defense did their job. Just kind of a dust your hands off boring kind of game.
Yeah, Seattle wins a game they're supposed to. Minnesota can't make it a game. If you're Minnesota, do you look into like one of these quarterbacks that are coming available? Kyler Murray, Mac Jones.
I mean, KOC, I think, could do a lot of work with Kyler Murray. If they want to make that investment, you have to probably trade, probably not too much, maybe a third.
A third and
Um,
JJ.
a third, maybe JJ, and you'll probably have to eat that contract. But I mean, if they want to make that gamble, I think it could work out very well for them.
Mac Jones too. I mean, same kind of
Yeah.
school of thought from San
I mean,
Francisco to Minnesota.
if you asked me that a year ago, I would have told you Mac Jones is unplayable anywhere. But he looked good this year. Like, I mean, I don't think he's carried by talent around him. San Francisco line has fallen off over the years, and his number one wide receiver was Jawan Jennings.
And Minnesota's left side of their offensive line is dead.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but
mean, Mac could probably do some work with Minnesota.
assuming that they all had it together next year.
Yeah,
But offensive line aside, McCarthy hasn't been good enough.
no,
And if you were expecting Max Brosmer to be like insanely good, like I know I was pumping the tires because that's my boy. But if you were expecting anything short of maybe a little better, which he wasn't, obviously. But if you're expecting anything, like if you thought they were gonna win this game, like you're beyond help.
yeah.
um, just not a great day. Not a great day to be a Vikings fan.
I thought at best he might put up a Purdy-esque performance in a loss where it's like he's not elite, but he's like way better than you'd expect. But
He
it
was
just
about as he
didn't.
should have been expected. Okay. Buffalo at Pittsburgh. Let's get into it. You chuckled.
Yeah,
Buffalo wins 26-7. Josh Allen 15 of 23, 123, one touchdown and a pick. James Cook 144 yards on 32 carries. Josh Allen with a rushing touchdown.
yeah.
James Cook was also the leading receiver, 3 for 33. Aaron Rodgers 10 of 21, 117, no touchdowns, no picks. Mason Rudolph 0 for 3 and a pick.
Yeah.
Jalen Warren 10 for 35 and a touchdown. Darnell Washington 2 for 45. LCO, explain this one to me.
So, I mean, it's a pretty pedestrian day by standards for Josh Allen, right? Just 123 yards, touchdown, and a pick. He got the rushing touchdown, which helps him a little. Didn't really have to do much. James Cook had a day. Of course, he also had a lot of touches. Rodgers left the game early. He had some sort of injury.
Probably his wrist acting up.
Yeah. Uh, Mason Rudolph is he's a backup quarterback, all right. Steelers offense, being the Steelers offense, didn't have much. Warren averaged about 3.5 a pop on 10 carries, got himself a touchdown. Yeah, it just wasn't really a competitive football game.
Like
I'm
I still
so
don't. I'm still not buying the Bills.
no,
Um,
not based off this.
but god damn, LCO, the freaking Steelers 6-2 they started out, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a hot start. I'm
And
pretty
now they
sure
lost like
they.
4 straight.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
it's not been good.
what are, what are we supposed to make of this team?
They're not a good football team. I don't think. I mean, we were minus Rodgers last week in a close loss to the Bears. In fairness, but we had Rodgers this week, and when he was healthy in the game, we couldn't do much with him. So did it matter?
And it's not like the Bills' defense has been amazing.
No, I mean they. I've seen them get gashed by teams for sure. The Steelers are just incapable of playing offense as they have been for the past 8 years at least. The defense was pretty good. I mean, they contained Josh Allen, but also he didn't really have that many pass attempts because they could just keep giving the ball to James Cook and eat some clock.
Like, I'm starting to believe that maybe this is a losing season for them.
I'm feeling that, yeah.
Like, I know that's a large thing to say about a Mike Tomlin team, but do you see this team winning 3 more games this year?
No, especially when you look at the remaining games, they have
Let's do it. Let's
Baltimore.
do it. At Baltimore, I don't think that's a win.
No,
Dolphins, that's a win.
that's probably a win.
At the Lions, 50
Probably
50, but
not.
I'll give it to the Lions.
Yeah,
At the Browns, that's a win. Should be.
yeah,
It is the
should.
AFC North. And then versus the Ravens, it's a L. 2 wins before we give them an upset? Like, knowing that like the Dolphins and the Browns aren't gimmies,
Yeah, not with this Steelers team. They're not.
you could lose out.
Yeah, they could easily.
If they lose out, does Tomlin get fired?
I don't know if he gets fired, but I think they mutually agree to part ways if you catch
Oh,
my
like a
drift.
Belichick firing?
And he probably gets hired somewhere else.
You
I
know
would
that
imagine.
report that came out a couple weeks ago that said an unnamed coach was looking to like for a new change of scenery?
Yeah,
It was like
I,
the Athletic that reported
I
that. I
think
was the
that's the
first
one.
one to say it's Tomlin.
It could easily could be like I don't see why it wouldn't be at this point. I think he's hit his ceiling in Pittsburgh. We need to tear down and rebuild. He needs to go to a team that can give him a winner. We're not that.
Yeah, so there's just Steelers minute. I hated to pick on them for you, but I felt like you were kind of
Yeah, I
itching
mean,
to say something.
there's just plenty to pick on.
They're just super lazy with the quarterback.
Yeah,
They're super. They don't get these high end players, and when they do, they trade them like George Pickens.
yeah, for nothing. They traded him for like a third round pick.
Hey, the Steelers should be way better than this. Like they're a marquee program. Just
Historically.
awful, awful stuff.
Yeah,
All right, we got 2 more games to go. Vegas and the Chargers. I mean, I didn't even know who won this game, so this is going to be interesting as I pull up the scoreboard. The Chargers win 31-14, as
yeah,
expected. Oh, they wore their sick navy jerseys. That's cool.
beautiful to
Um,
see.
Geno Smith 18-23, 2 touchdowns and a pick, 165 yards. Genty 15 carries, 31 yards. Brock
Yeah,
Bowers 4 for 63 and 2 scores. Justin Herbert, 15 of 21, 51, 2 touchdowns. The pick does not leave this game unscathed. Fractures a hand, fractures a bone in his left hand. Is going to have surgery. They think he's going to play, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Kamani Vidal, 25 carries, 126 yards on a touchdown. Jared Patterson with a touchdown as well on 54 yards. Lad McConkey was your leading receiver, 4 for 39 and a touchdown. Quentin Johnson, 3 for 23 and a touchdown. Geno Smith also lost a fumble, but he also recovered it, so no big deal. Chargers win. They improved to 8-4. Vegas falls to 2-10. Screw the Raiders. We don't care. They fired Chip Kelly. They still suck. Pete Carroll's going to retire. The Raiders suck. Let's just move them away. The Chargers, hot start early in the year. They get Joe Alt back. They look like they're going to be awesome. Joe Alt gets hurt again. Going to miss the rest of the year. But they're 8-4.
Yeah. And they're kind of in contention for the division, more so than the Chiefs right now.
Yep. I still they're not better than the Broncos, I don't think.
No.
They should remain a wild card team.
I would think so. I mean, as a whole, it wasn't explosive for Herbert, but he was efficient. Had to pick. Shout out to Trey Lance for having 100% completion rate, 1 for
Never
1.
happened before in his career.
Vidal was really good. He got plenty of carries, but he was also efficient with him, averaging 5. Lad he scores huge, or Quentin Johnston scores, and the defense as a whole did their job. I mean, Geno didn't look as terrible as you would think against this tough defense, but they did the job. Chanty couldn't get any running room, averaging about 2 yards a carry.
That guy might be the most inefficient running back in all of football.
Yeah.
But the weird thing about the Chargers is I want to say that they're a strong AFC wildcard team, but after the Texans won this week, they're nipping at the heels. The Chiefs, I mean, I know that they lost, but they're still hanging around. Only 2 games back.
Yeah.
The only thing that they really have going for them is wins in the division that they got really early. I think they went 3-0, and then they get another division win. Now they're 4-0. I don't know if they played the Broncos yet.
I don't think they have.
Let's take a look. They beat the Broncos.
Oh.
And did they sweep the Chiefs? No, they play the Chiefs in 2 weeks. So they still have a day against the Chiefs, and they have a day against the Broncos. They are undefeated in the division right now.
There is a solid. What do you think the chances are that they sweep the Chiefs?
It's pretty it's pretty good because the Chiefs are kind of anemic.
Yeah,
but the Chargers are beat up to hell. So we'll see. Their remaining schedule, they host the Eagles. Not great. They travel to Kansas City, to the Cowboys, versus the Texans. They might lose out.
There's a chance.
Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Texans, Broncos. They might lose out. They might not be a playoff team.
It's a tough stretch. I mean, the Eagles aren't as much of a gimme loss as they should be, though.
No, but the Texans?
With that defense, that's tough.
The Chargers could lose out. The Texans' remaining schedule, I don't think is that hard.
No.
It's kind of hard. At the Chiefs versus the Cardinals versus the Raiders.
Stretch.
The Raiders are a win.
Yeah.
At the Chargers versus the Colts, who they just beat.
It's a tougher stretch for the Chargers for sure.
How could you not think that the Texans are an immediate favorite to take that spot from them?
Yeah, and I mean, the Cowboys, if you asked me a few weeks ago, would have been a gimme win for the Chargers. I'm favoring the Cowboys now.
It's a tough road.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more. Sunday Night Football. We just watched it. Went to overtime. Broncos and the Commanders. It was I believe, a 27-26 ball game. Yes, it was.
Was.
Commanders go for two at the end. They don't get it. But an entertaining game, nevertheless. Bo Nix, 29-45, 321, touchdown and a pick. RJ Harvey, 13 carries, 35 yards, wildly inefficient. Hey, 2 touchdowns. Evan Ingram, 6 for 79. Sutton, 5 for 62 and a touchdown. Marcus Mariota, 28-50, 294, 2 touchdowns and a pick. The key to winning, not letting Marcus Mariota throw for 50 times again. Chris Rodriguez, 11 carries, 41 yards and a touchdown. Zach Ertz, 10 for 106. Terry McLaurin, 7 for 96. Deebo Samuel, 5 for 64. Commanders spread the ball around pretty good, as did the Broncos. That's why it went to overtime, and they were just one play short. Any overarching thoughts of this game? Like, do you look at the Broncos and go, "Ooh, I don't know about them," or is this kind of one of those? Oh, you had a team played up to you, and you just kind of had to survive.
I definitely think the Commanders played up. I mean, Harvey was wildly inefficient, like you said, but he got the 2 touchdowns, so it doesn't matter at the end. Bo Nix had a couple missed connections with Cortland Sutton. I want to say the Broncos defense really kind of let them down because that's a really good defensive unit. You're facing a backup quarterback. Their running backs are not very good at football. They have okay enough receiving weapons with McLaurin and I guess Deebo Samuel being the standouts, unless you want to count Ertz. The Commanders just played an admirable game. I mean, Mariota threw the ball 50 times. He was their leading rusher as well.
We have a rule in this program, Elsie. I don't know if you know it, but if your quarterback is your leading rusher, you're not a very good football team.
No, I mean, the Commanders are not a very good football team. They're 3-9.
1 yard away from 4-8.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like this was a trap game. Denver kind of got sprung into the trap. They played a bit sloppy at times, but in the end they clutch up. They get the touchdown drive to open overtime, and they stop the 2-point conversion.
I definitely don't like how they let Washington keep up, but
No,
that's going to happen to these good teams. Like, a bad team's going to come out and surprise you.
yeah.
Like the Patriots and the Patriots and Bengals last week. A bad team came out to surprise them. The
Now
Rams
if
and the Panthers this week. The Panthers surprised the Rams, and the Rams got bit.
if the Broncos manage to let the Raiders keep up, maybe I'll start worrying. But it's just a trap game. I feel like
Are the Broncos the best team in the AFC?
it's them or the Patriots.
If you had to pick one gun to your head,
Pats, I can rely on their offense a bit more than Denver's. I mean, Bo Nix, he wins these close games, but I've seen a few games he just doesn't have it in the first 3 quarters and just turns it on in the fourth. RJ Harvey's not the most efficient running back of all time, and Dobbins is gone. Give me the Pats if I have a gun to my head.
maybe this is just the pessimist in me, but I would take the Broncos just simply because that defense is very, very good.
They
Top
do
bottom,
have quite
top to
good
bottom. Like
defense.
there's no beating them. And the Patriots going forward, the left side of their offensive line is injured. Will Campbell is going to be
Mm,
out until the end of December. Jarrett Wilson, who knows when he's going to come back. They obviously they're coming off a stretch where like the offense hasn't quite been the efficient passers that they have been.
yeah,
Um, Going forward, I'll take the Broncos. I do think it's close, but I just think the Broncos have a better head on their shoulders right now, and I think that they have the body to really withstand some of these things. I think the Patriots. I think now you're going to look at, oh, this depth is really thin. They haven't quite had the time to complete this rebuild yet.
yeah.
So I'll take the Broncos going forward, but I do think that the Patriots are a legit team. We'll talk about them tomorrow night, depending on what happens on Monday Night Football. But yeah, the Broncos survive a scare, certainly.
Yeah.
All right, want to talk college football?
Let's talk college.
So obviously, some big decisions as far as coaching carousel goes. Let's start with the big Kahuna first, the big cheese, Lane Kiffin. So there's a lot of drama with this one, LCL. I don't know if you've heard about this. If you didn't, let me inform you. Obviously, last time we were here, Lane Kiffin was deciding between three offers: Ole Miss, Florida, and LSU. Florida this weekend said, "Screw it, we're not waiting for you." They went and hired, who was it?
John Somro.
That's right, of Tulane, correct?
Yes.
Look at me. I didn't even have to research that. I have the article in front of me. I didn't even have to pull it up. Florida says, "We're sick of you waiting for you, dude. Like, we're done. We're moving on." So then it's LSU and Ole Miss. Ole Miss wins the Egg Bowl. Lane Kiffin makes his decision. Not only after it leaks out that he's going to go to LSU and he is just trying to poach every single coach, every single person in the athletic department to come over to LSU with him, and he wanted to coach Ole Miss to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Ole Miss told him to shove it.
Yeah.
And he did poach a lot of coaches, I believe. I think he did poach a lot of people in the AD. But he decides that he's going to go coach LSU next year. Ole Miss hires their defensive coordinator as their interim throughout the CFB. But, yeah, Lane Kiffin goes ahead and fucks over another team, LCO. What's kind of your instant reaction to Lane Kiffin going to LSU?
Just going to shoot from the hip. It's Lane Kiffin. The drama. I mean, I might not have expected it to be quite this bad with Lane Kiffin openly saying, like, yeah, let me coach this playoff team, but also offensive staff. If you don't get on the plane today, there's no room for you on this staff. Make your choice now. Yeah, it's Lane. It's Lane Kiffin, a great coach, awesome mind. Loyalty set to zero. If this was a hat selection, he picked Ho over Housewife. But I mean, if you're Ole Miss, you're hurting. You're probably going into the college football playoffs with an interim. You can't guarantee your players are completely focused after their coach has hopped on a plane to Baton Rouge and took his offensive coordinator with him. I mean, I figured he was leaving, but he could have decided this like 2 weeks ago.
Do you agree that he should have left? Do you think that he should have left?
No.
You think he should have stayed at Ole Miss? He should have signed that contract and been an Ole Miss guy.
That was the coldest seat of all time. He could have sat there till the end of his career. If LSU isn't competing for an Eddie in 2 years, he might get tarmacked again.
Like, and what team's going to want to bring him in? Of any prestige?
Another team might want to bring him in, but if he goes to LSU, they invest all this into him and he fails. It's not as much of a home run as he had this year.
Because I was talking to Gerardo about this yesterday, and I told him, like, there's no way Ole Miss is that far off from LSU as far as getting recruits in, as far as being a contender in the SEC. Like, we saw how bad LSU got this year. I mean, like, they've been kind of irrelevant, for lack of a better word. Like, since Joe Burrow, they haven't really been a player. Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin, they've started to build something. They started to get something together.
They're a playoff team this year.
They're a playoff team this year, right? They're like ranked top 5.
Yeah.
It's just super unfortunate. I don't think that they should have left. I think that he could have really did something with Ole Miss. He could have made them a player because they were already kind of becoming a player.
I mean,
like, there's no reason Lane Kiffin was just going to like start losing recruits to LSU. Like that wasn't going to happen. He wasn't going to start losing recruits to Auburn and Arkansas, and he was already competing with Bama and Georgia and Mississippi State. Like there's no reason for this, I don't think.
I wouldn't have written him off from winning the Natty this year if he stuck around. It
And
would
even
be
long term
hard.
projection, like LSU, like obviously they have the alumni, they have the boosters, they have all that. Like they're better than Ole Miss in a lot of those categories.
Yeah.
But Ole Miss cannot be that far off if the money's the same, everything's equal.
No, I mean, I don't know why Lane's feet just got itchy all of a sudden this year. And I mean, not for a job I would have linked him to beforehand. Like, if it was Florida, maybe I get it because I don't know why he just absolutely adores the University of Florida. Always has. But LSU, I don't think he should have left. To
So
be
we're in
quite honest.
agreement. Very good. Any last thoughts about the Lane Kiffin story?
Uh, I'll always love him for how wrong he did Tennessee, but he did Ole Miss the same way, and I don't like it quite as much.
Fair enough. I want to talk about these other coaches.
Let's talk.
Okay. First and foremost, it's just because it's at the top of my list. Michigan State. They hired Pat Fitzgerald, but they fired Jonathan Smith.
Yeah.
His personality never seemed to fit. West Coast guy. Looks like the donors are going to be big fans of this one. Pat Fitzgerald. He's coming from Northwestern. Yeah. So Pat Fitzgerald. What do you think?
I mean, it's a good hire for Michigan State. Like, I mean, Pat Fitzgerald kind of had a brush with controversy at Northwestern, but honestly, the school screwed him over. He literally won a court case against the school, and they had to pay him. Uh, he's a pretty good football coach. He's a Midwestern guy, as you alluded to. I don't know how the resources are in Michigan State, but I'd imagine better than Northwestern by a good bit. They might have themselves a solid hire here. I mean, Michigan State has a ceiling. We'll see if he can raise it, but I wouldn't be complaining as a Michigan State fan. That's for sure.
Alrighty, let's go to the next one. All right, we can give this one a little bit more time. Florida, they say screw Lane Kiffin. They go and hire John Summerall out of Tulane. He's coached Troy and Tulane. They're going to play. Tulane's going to play North Texas on Friday.
Into conference
Try to get back into the
championship.
college
Yeah.
football playoffs with that group of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about this one, John Summerall of Florida?
Florida fans are probably going to complain. I think that's dumb to do. They wanted Lane Kiffin. I think they were solidly out of the running by the time Florida gave up. I think it was smart just to cut that string. If you look at John Summerall, he has won everywhere he's went. Tulane might be a playoff team this year if they let him finish the season. With the resources in Florida, Summerall could do some work. I mean, he's won everywhere he's been. He's young. I mean, I don't know how he is as a recruiter. I don't pay attention to Tulane, obviously, but I like the guy. He seems to be like a good coach, puts a good product on the field, and he's probably a good amount cheaper than Lane would have been. You can invest more of that into the players.
It's
I
true.
like.
All right. So this one came with some drama. Auburn hiring Alex Golish. Not quite as much drama, but didn't it come out that Golish was going to coach at Arkansas,
That
and
was that.
then something happened? Maybe he was a little bit mad that it leaked out, and he goes and he flips to Auburn, which is, I think, a better job.
Better job. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
Golish
think
comes from USF. Obviously, they were kind of having a miracle run earlier in the year. Um, what do you make of this one?
I think some poor sap at Arkansas is going to lose his job for leaking it. Golish is a really good hire for Auburn, and he got a better job. Honestly, you have resources at Auburn. You have some really high paying alumni, whatever. Little brother syndrome, so they're willing to give you a little bit extra to work with. I like it for Auburn. I like it for him. I didn't hate Arkansas for him though, but it is a job upgrade, as unfortunate as it is to say.
So Arkansas panics, and they have to fire Ryan Silverfield from Memphis. He's gone 29-9 over the last 3 years. Never had a losing season over 6 years. But he's also never reached the American Conference Championship.
I say this with all due respect to the man. Virginia Tech had a foray into hiring Memphis coaches. They always suck at the next job. I don't like it for him, for them. Maybe he proves me wrong, but I think they took a very big downgrade from Golish, obviously. It was a panic move. We'll see. We'll see.
So, Elsie, I don't know if you know this, but on this program, we're very pro Bobby Petrino.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe they should have gave him the full-time job?
I mean, I don't think Silverfield can be that much better than Bobby Petrino. I mean, honestly, the way things are going, he probably gets a job somewhere. I don't know if it's as a head coach, but
Who, Bobby?
yeah, maybe they keep him in Arkansas on staff somehow. But he could get a head coaching job the way things are going. One of those group of five schools.
Memphis?
Yeah, Memphis.
USF?
Yeah, I mean,
Ole
those
Miss is
jobs are
open.
open.
Ole Miss is open.
Ole Miss. Well, I think they'll stick with their interim guy before bringing in Bobby, as much as I hate to say it.
I just think that they should just give Bobby a chance somewhere. Somebody somewhere.
Someone will.
He's got Arkansas as like the remnants of them, like in one possession games all year.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't look bad. He inherited, obviously, a sinking ship, kind of like Philip Montgomery did in Virginia Tech and any interim coach did. Well, that's the way it goes for an interim coach.
I don't care about Stanford. I don't care about Oregon State. I don't care about Colorado State. Don't care about Oklahoma State. Okay, I can give you a couple minutes on this, LCO. James Franklin goes to Virginia Tech.
Yeah,
You're the BT guy. What do you think?
I like it. I mean, I've heard the concerns about him not winning the big game, but we can't make the big game. I think Virginia Tech fans for at least a few years will be happy just to make the big game, even if we lose. It's a pretty bad ACC. If you look at the conference championship this year, a five-loss team has a chance to win it.
Can you imagine
Frank,
Duke winning the freaking ACC?
I take them over UVA. That was an explicitly biased take. I apologize.
Well, you kind of thread the needle on that, so you're good.
But I mean, he's a top tier recruiter in the area. It's a good hire like it's best hire Virginia Tech could have gotten. It's not a Lane Kiffin job. I mean, maybe if you're high on Golish, they could have gotten out and gotten him, but not
Not if
over
Auburn was
Auburn.
offering.
No, or and Arkansas.
I
Well,
think Arkansas
Arkansas
is
might be
pretty
close.
even. You're talking like bottom SEC or mid tier ACC, like kind of.
So I think James Franklin's about the best hire we could have gotten, unless he really liked Bob Chesney, who was our second option. But I'm a big fan of Big Game James, as I'll call him for now. He's done a good job flipping some recruits for Tech. We'll
Already
see.
pulling from the Penn State pipeline.
Yeah,
He's obviously got history there too.
yeah. He,
So,
yeah, he has history in the area, of course.
so yeah, those are kind of the big coaching hires.
Yeah,
All right, let's review our college football games that we had last week, and we'll preview what's going on next week. First, for the review, Texas A&M at Texas. Texas wins 27-17. What do you think?
little brother curse for A&M fluke. I mean, Texas has been ascending. Obviously, like they're not a bad football team, but A&M has been far and away better consistently all year. Should have won this game.
Now they cost themselves an SEC title game.
They did.
I don't think they cost themselves a playoff spot, but yikes. Yikes. What? And now freaking Steve Sarkisian is talking about how Texas needs to make the playoff.
Yeah, and I disagree vehemently.
You don't think so?
No, I mean they're a free loss team. I get that they're a free loss SEC team, but Vandy's a 2-loss SEC team. I I don't like them Mickey Mouse and a free loss team, and
Do you think they will?
there's a chance, non-zero chance, yes.
If you had to put a number on it, what do you think? Not knowing how the rest of the week plays out.
Going 50-50, cop out answer, but I mean, if you look at the case, like it's not a terrible case. One of their free losses is freaking Ohio State, after all. Like
Who finally
it,
got the monkey off their back?
yeah, they did. Texas didn't cupcake their schedule. I will give them that for the most part.
All right, let's take a look at the game.
Yeah,
It was Ohio State at Michigan this year in the snow. Ohio
yeah.
State wins 27-9, the first time they've won since 2019.
As you alluded, monkey off their back, and not only did they win, they covered the spread. Shout out to
Obviously, Michigan kind of broken.
them. Yeah. Sharon Moore seemingly not the guy, but I don't know if they move off of him yet.
Too late.
Yeah,
Too late. But yeah, Ohio State runs into the playoff with some momentum. They finally got the monkey out their back. They beat Michigan. Now they're going to come into this game with some swagger. Against Indiana, we'll
yeah,
talk about in a second. They're going to be a player in this college football playoff, just like they were last year when they won it.
yeah,
And they're probably feeling even better than they did last year.
yeah. Considering they lost to Michigan and didn't win or did they win the conference title last year? I don't think so.
Yeah, they beat Oregon, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that's how it went. Yeah,
So there you go. Okay, what was next? We had Miami at Pittsburgh. Miami wins 38-7. Not even close.
no,
I usually
and
pick Pittsburgh for this game because they usually have their number. The Hurricanes. They have since I was a kid. But not this one. 38-7.
early on it looked like Pittsburgh might have them on upset alert, but after the first like 10 minutes of the game, Miami remembered that they were Miami and they were playing Pittsburgh, so it was not close.
Can you believe that Miami fumbled away this open ACC?
Not even in the conference title game, man.
Nope.
And they beat Notre Dame to open the year, who is a playoff contender.
Freaking Notre Dame.
They managed to not win this conference.
Vanderbilt at Tennessee. Vandy wins 45-24.
Yeah. Close first half, but Vandy just dominated the second half. If I can thread the needle here, I was not too unhappy to see how the second half went. Was Vandy the favorite? No, Tennessee was. Nice. Yeah, I mean, Vandy made a somewhat interesting playoff case with that win.
Would you put them in?
I would, but I don't know if the committee would. They did need some
If
teams to
they don't
lose.
If they don't make it, but Texas does, doesn't that feel wrong?
It does a little, but I can see the case with Texas having better wins, but they do have worse loss.
And they have more losses, don't they?
Yeah, they have more losses.
I can't imagine that they do that.
No.
I think they'd have to put them both in, and then screw somebody from the Big Ten or
Yeah.
the Big 12 was getting one. Like, hate to break it to you, folks.
Big 12's getting one, and ACC is getting one, and I don't even know if they deserve that.
Moving on. The Iron Bowl, Bama at Auburn. Bama survives 27-20.
Yeah, I mean, it's a closer game than you would want to see as a Bama fan, but I mean, it's the Iron Bowl. It's a rivalry game, and I'm pretty sure they were at Jordan Hare, which is like even Nick Saban says the place is haunted. So they survive. I'll give it to them. I think they even covered the spread, which I was surprised the spread was that low.
Mm.
Uh, good game, good game, good fun football game. Iron Bowl, of course.
Georgia at Georgia Tech. Georgia wins 16-9. Gerardo was saying all year that Georgia Tech was going to win this game, and he was close.
Yeah. Georgia, a team that did not at all cover the spread. It was a pretty close game. Low scoring, of obviously, as you can see. I don't know how Georgia could have covered the spread in such a low scoring game. Yeah, uh, fun to watch if you like defense.
Any concerns about Georgia going into the SEC title game?
Uh,
We should wait for
Georgia,
that. We should wait for that.
yeah.
Arizona State at Arizona. Arizona wins 23-7. The Devils
Arizona.
needed this to stay alive in the Big 12 hunt, and they needed UCF to win. Did Utah lose?
Uh,
Because
let
if
me
Utah lost, it wouldn't have mattered, I don't think. But they needed to win this game. They needed to win the Territorial Cup, and they did not. 23-7, the final. No Sam Levitt. Jordan Tyson got hurt. Like,
Utah won
okay,
their last game.
okay. So, yeah, Arizona State crumbles. Story of their season. They can't keep up. They lose Territorial Cup. Not great. Not a great end to the season for my Sun Devils.
No, I would offer a generational bag for Jordan Tyson to stay and try to run it back, but I doubt he takes it.
He's like the top receiver of the nation. Like, he's going.
Yeah, no, he's gone. But I would try at least.
Sam Levitt probably gone. Probably hitting the transfer portal.
Maybe.
But I think with Lane Kiffin going to LSU, we got Kenny Dillingham sticking around.
Yeah.
Which is good. I think that was the most important piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, I mean, I like him a lot. I'm glad.
I think Kenny can find a quarterback. Yeah. I love Sam Levitt. Sam Levitt's very good. You're not just going to replace him. But I think Kenny can find another quarterback.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to fix his offensive line because Jesus Christ. And shoot Jeff Sims either to the sun or in the face. I don't care which one.
He should be graduating, right? He was like,
I think he is. He's like 27.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terrible.
I don't even want to talk about UCF and BYU because that only mattered if Arizona State won, and they didn't. So we're moving on.
Yeah.
Let's go through week 15, shall we?
Let's do it.
133, 40. College football preview championship weekend. Let's just go through the ones that matter.
Yeah.
North Texas at Tulane. Winner of this one is probably getting that last spot, don't you think?
I would imagine so, yes.
Unless maybe North Texas wins, and then you want to put in James Madison.
Yeah, JMU has a case if that happens.
So yeah, I guess because we think JMU is probably going to beat Troy, right? Like we don't think it's going to be.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to project a Troy win.
So it's going to be JMU or Tulane. Tulane's already ranked 24, so you got to imagine that if Tulane wins, they're getting in. But
Yeah.
North Texas is the favorite, -2.5.
Interesting. Are they thinking maybe Summerall won't be totally focused with taking the Florida job?
Maybe. And then JMU obviously -22.5. So
Yeah.
if Tulane wins, they're in. I think that's how it's gonna go.
They're
They lose. North Texas or James Madison. I gotta imagine that James Madison's gonna be the favorite there.
I would imagine so, yeah.
But you never know. Maybe they're impressed by North Texas beating Tulane at Tulane. Who knows? But who you got in that one?
I'm going to take Tulane. They're the higher ranked team. I'm sure they've been better week in and week out. I'll take Tulane, but I guess I shouldn't be shocked if North Texas wins it.
All right. Number 11 BYU at number 5 Texas Tech at AT&T Stadium. Um, Texas Tech -13.5. They obviously played earlier this year. Tech won,
Yeah.
29-7. I kind of expect the same thing. I think Tech's going to win this.
Yeah, I mean, I will play devil's advocate here. It is sometimes hard to beat the same team twice in 1 year. I've seen this story before. Beat them in the regular season, lose the conference shit. But I have to ask, you said the Big 12's getting one in. If BYU wins this game, Tech should not drop out of the top 12, in my opinion.
I agree.
So if BYU won this, the Big 12 might Mickey Mouse their way into two teams.
It's true, but I think Tech's going to take care of business here, I think.
Yeah, Tech probably does win, but it's fun to play devil's advocate
Yeah, no,
here.
fair point. Fair point. Texas Tech is 13.5-point favorites. I think they're going to cover that. SEC Championship, Georgia at Bama in Atlanta, so it's really a Georgia home game.
Yeah.
Bama number 10, Georgia number 4. What are you thinking?
Give me Georgia in this one, and I will cite the hard to beat the same team twice because I think Bama got to win the regular season. I would imagine Georgia's probably favored, but I wouldn't be shocked if they wanted to favor Bama.
Georgia -2.5.
Okay, yeah, I'm I'm going to take Georgia, and if you won the bonus, I would imagine that they would cover, assuming they win.
2.5, yeah.
Yeah.
Ohio State at Indiana, number 1 versus number 2
Mm.
in Lucas Oil Stadium.
So
OSU
Indiana home
-5.5.
game.
I think OSU might crush them just because they're feeling so good after
I
beating
mean,
Michigan. You know what I mean? Like the vibes are so
yeah,
high.
like OSU has been on a roll, and like Indiana, honestly,
They've been
like,
playing cupcakes since the Oregon game.
and they had some uncomfortably close calls. I mean, they beat PSU by 4. Uh, well, that's the only uncomfortably close call, actually. Looking at it, I will take the Buckeyes. I'm hoping for a fun game. Coach Signetti has Indiana on the up and up, obviously. But Ryan, they got the monkey off his back with the game.
Yeah, I think OSU wins this pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
Number 18, Virginia versus Duke in Charlotte for the ACC. UVA -2.5.
So I think they played earlier in the season and UVA won by 3 scores.
Yep, 34-17.
Honestly, I'm gonna invoke the Commonwealth Cup here. Uh, UVA, like, if you looked at the scoreboard, a convincing win. Tech just couldn't play offense. UVA's offense was not doing the best. I could see Duke coming out here and being the trap game, winning the conference as a 5 loss team.
Can you imagine?
But no, I can't. be biased and spin this story here. I'm taking UVA.
Yeah, it's just super unfortunate that Miami couldn't get it together. SMU couldn't get it together. Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech couldn't get it together. Clemson obviously sucked. Nobody was taking UNC seriously, so I won't even talk about them.
SMU was a damn win, and I could have picked them. I cannot pick a 5-loss Duke team that lost to this team by 3 scores like 4 weeks ago, if that.
Unreal. Okay, well that's that, LCO. Thanks for coming on tonight. You'll be here tomorrow, obviously, talking about Monday Night Football, and you'll be giving picks in place of Gerardo.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for coming on. We'll see you again tomorrow. As for you folks, thank you all for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you comment, share, all that fun stuff. We'll be back tomorrow, and then Gerardo should be back next week. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with us. We'll see you all next week.